Hey, what's up, guys? So, today we are going to do another very unfair comparison, and that's going to be between the very popular boAt Stone 700 and the also very popular, the beast, the Sony XB40. Now, many of you will right off the bat tell me this is a very unfair comparison. This is a speaker of a completely different league, while this is a speaker of also a very different league. But, guys, the reason I want to compare this is because, like I've said in my previous video where I've compared the Portronic sound drum to the XB40, I've said that I want to give you which is more value for money. I know this is not a speaker everyone would suddenly or really quickly buy, or not a speaker everyone can very readily afford. I know that because I had to save up a lot of money to buy this. This is, on the other hand, a speaker which is very popular and people can still afford. So it's going to be a comparison, a fair comparison in terms of what specs these offer, why this is superior in which terms, and why this is superior and in which aspect. So that's what we're going to compare. Try to keep it as fair as possible, and also, right, keep it fair and say that this is definitely a speaker that is going to win right off the bat, guys. I think it's clear that it's going to win in terms of sound, but let's still do the comparison. Okay, so starting off, guys, the boAt Stone 700 is a 10-watt speaker. So, like the usual, it's got two drivers inside and a passive bass radiator at the back. So 10 watt of output, and I've spoken about how good the quality of the boAt Stone 700 is. I had compared it to the boAt Stone 700, the 600. If you haven't seen that video, do check it out. And I've compared as to how this overall offered superior sound quality with that undistorted bass and body of sound. And I was really impressed with its sound quality and, of course, the build. In comparison to that, the Sony XB40 offers you no less than 30 watts of output, RMS that is. This offers you 10, and the XB40 offers you at least 30, but because Sony does not specify exactly the amount of RMS output, I'm also led to believe that this offers actually up to 40 watts of RMS output, since the 40 in the name XB40 stands for the amount of output. So I believe it's got 40 watts of output compared to 10 watts of output. So 4 times, the Sony XB40 is 4 times as loud as the boAt Stone 700. Now let's talk about the build. The boAt Stone 700, as I've always mentioned, is built like a tank. It is one of the most rugged speakers that I've put my hands on. It's rock solid and you feel absolutely confident carrying this even in the most adventurous trips that you can imagine, because this is built to survive and take a lot of beating and abuse. All right. This is also IPX6 certified, so it can take more heavy splashes of water. No, you cannot dip it completely underwater because that would damage it, but heavy rains, splashes of water, pouring water all over it will do absolutely no damage to it. Plus the overall hard plastic, the chunky silicone buttons over here, really clicky. This makes for one hell of a rugged speaker. Compared to that, the XB40 offers you IPX5, so that's one less than this. This is IPX6, the boAt Stone 700, while the XB40 is IPX5. So a little less water resistance, but it can still take those splashes of water, some light rain. But yeah, you cannot dip it completely underwater. That would really damage the speaker seriously. Apart from that, you do get this really nice feeling matte rubber texture, clicky and tactile buttons which are very silent, and also very silent on this, but comparatively the boAt Stone 700's buttons are much more clicky compared to the Sony's much more silent but tactile buttons. This also has 2 drivers in the front and a bass radiator at the center, and also a bass radiator at the back. Now, talking about which I would prefer in terms of its build quality, I think it goes without saying, guys, I would pick the boAt Stone 700 time and again, because first of all, it's light comparatively compared to this, and I don't know, I just feel that dropping this would damage the ground more than it would damage this, while because of its weight, it would cause a lot of damage to the speaker's internals as well. So this is for stationary, set it at one place and listen to good quality sound, while this is good for carrying around and much more rugged use. So boAt Stone wins in terms of its rugged and its build quality. Now coming to the features, boAt Stone is the 700, that is, it's pretty limited. Yes, it does offer you to take calls. You can take calls, answer calls and whatever. But apart from that, all you get here is your standard aux input. So if you want to plug in from an analog source, from external sound source, without using Bluetooth, you can do so with the help of 3.5mm jack. And you get micro USB port for charging this speaker. So you do not get FM, nor do you get a USB 2 port to plug in a pen drive and listen to your songs, nor can you use this as a power bank to charge your phone. So pretty basic micro USB port, which is good because you can plug in your phone's charger, provided it also has micro USB, or any charger which is micro USB, and charge this, and aux port, but no FM, no USB connectivity for listening to pen drives. Whereas on the Sony, yes, you can obviously take calls. It's got an inbuilt microphone, and at the back, under this port, you have the usual aux port. So audio in, so use 3.5mm jack, listening to songs from an external audio source. You get a reset button. You get a USB port, but that's only because this is going to give you the ability to charge your phone. This speaker, the XB40, can work as a power bank, but you cannot plug in a pen drive and expect to listen to songs. It's DC out only, as it's clearly mentioned, but you cannot listen to songs. It also does not have FM, but the downside is this charging port is for its proprietary charger only. It has got no micro USB port, so you cannot expect to plug in any micro USB to charge this. You need its proprietary charger, and it's got a huge plug associated with it. So you need a socket, wall socket, and plug it in there. And that's the only way that you're going to charge this speaker. Now, I believe that the boAt Stone 700 has, as far as I remember, I think 2000 milliamp battery. That's right, it's got a 2000 milliamp battery, which is really good for this speaker because one single charge and it's good for up to 6 to 7 hours of playback. Whereas the XB40 has acclaimed, as per Amazon, 8,800 milliamp hours. So it's more than four times the capacity of the boAt Stone 700. So this offers you, it's claimed to offer 24 hours of battery life, but you can safely get up to 20 hours on a single full charge with the LEDs off. And also, because of its large battery capacity, you can use it to charge your smartphones using the DC out port, which you've just seen, but no such facility with the boAt Stone 700. So much bigger battery capacity, smaller battery capacity, but yes, no FM for both, no pen drive facility for both, but power bank option for the XB40. So the XB40 wins this round. Now, apart from this, guys, talking about the price, before we come to the sound test, I'm going to talk about the price and value for money. I got this for 2,500 bucks. I got this for around 12,000 bucks, a little less than 12,000 bucks. For its rugged design, its sound quality, its quality of bass, I would say only if you were comparing between these two, then value for money, and if your budget is restricted, you would definitely pick this up because it's much more rugged. It offers better water resistance, it's lighter, It's comparatively much portable. I mean, I'm just going to compare it, guys, in terms of thickness. So, I mean, I used to think this was big, but now just look at the comparison. In terms of its thickness as well, check this out, check this out. I mean, if I keep it here, I mean, look at this. It's almost more than 2.5 times its thickness. So, value for money, I would say, well, both Stone 700, because of that build and very decent battery backup, but it does not offer you any other extra facility like a USB port to plug in a pen drive, no FM. It's just very, I mean, superbly built and offers very good sound for a speaker like this. Very balanced and good sound with good quality bass. But when I come to the XB40, which is, well, at least 5 times the price of the boAt Stone 700, but it gives you the option, the added option of using this as a power bank. It offers much better battery backup. I mean, at least 20 hours, if not 24. 24 is claimed under ideal conditions, so you get at least 20 hours with the lights off. Speaking of the lights, it also gives you that light show if you're into that sort of gimmicky thing. I am not really that big a fan of it. I mean, if it's on, it's on. If it's off, I don't really care. I care about the sound and the battery backup. So battery backup, definitely the XB40 is much more superior to the boAt Stone 700. It's got that added ability of being a power bank, which this does not. So, well guys, if you have the budget, the XB40 should be the one you should go for. It is going to offer you far more superior sound. It's going to be louder. It's going to have, I mean, tremendous amount of bass. It's going to offer you overall the best sound quality. I mean, there's no comparison really. And yeah, you get the lights and that's about it. And added features, you get NFC. So if you're too lazy to even pair your Bluetooth, you can just turn on your NFC on your phone, tap your phone here and it's paired just like that. You do not get that with the boAt Stone 700. The boAt Stone 700 does not offer you any battery indicator, but once it's on, if you long press this, it's going to tell you verbally how much percentage of battery is left, which is, I think, a very good feature. With this, you at least get the extra bass, and the power button have inbuilt LEDs, so even in the dark, these are on, but somehow, I don't know, it's a very poor design choice. None of these get lit up, so, I mean, kind of just makes it useless in the dark because you have to figure it out. Although it's got a little nib here and here for you to figure out that this is the play pause button and this is the volume up button. So that's how you figure it out. No lights whatsoever. And plus, I mean, even if you were using this in the dark, you'd definitely use your phone to control the sound anyway. So enough said, guys. Let's do the sound test. So if this is, I'm going to keep it like this because sound fires from both sides. And I'm also going to keep it like this because sound fires from both sides. Bass from this side, mids and highs from this side. Same for this, mids and highs from the side which has the boAt logo, bass from this side. So let us turn this on. Okay, it's on as you can see. Let us turn this on.
Power on. You've plugged into Nirvana.
Lots of talking for the boAt Stone 700. So let us pair. Okay. Bluetooth on.
You're now connected to boAt Stone 700.
Okay. Both of these got connected automatically. So as you can see in the audio source, we've got the XB40 as well as boAt Stone 700. Right now, the audio source is selected automatically to boAt Stone 700 since it connected first. So let us do the audio check. Let me check the volume. Sorry, that increases the... Okay, so full volume from the boAt Stone 700 and let's play. skip to the good part. Okay, so that was the boAt 700. Now let us shift to the XB40. All right, let me check. I think it was at full volume, so yeah, let's just play it. I had to bring down the volume. It was just extremely loud. I mean, I'm sitting so close to it, it's literally hurting my ears. But I mean, let me just tell you that. Okay, wait, let's just do a little bit more of the sound test and then we'll go to all my jibber jabber. Let's do one more track. Okay, wow, it's so loud in my studio right now. Okay, I'm going to change the source to boAt 700 and continue playing with the same music. Full volume. Okay, guys, what can I say? I told you right off the bat, this was a very unfair comparison. A 10 watt speaker put against a 40 watt speaker, a boAt put against a Sony. All right, I'm not saying that just because it's Sony it has to be better, but guys, it is. I mean, there's no other way about it. This offers you that loudness, it offers you that bass, it offers you that complete package of sound. You know that it does justice to the track you're playing. There's so much body in that sound, that bass, that high, that mid, and none of it is harsh. And like I said, it gets ridiculously loud. If I hadn't heard this, I mean, till the time I hadn't heard this, this was a very, very good speaker. You guys who have been following me for a while, you know that I've spoken very highly of the boAt Stone 700. This is also a very good speaker. It's got a very good sound quality. I mean, I had compared it to the boAt Stone 600 like I mentioned, and I said that the overall sound performance was better on the boAt Stone 700. But compared to this, comparing the boAt Stone 700 in terms of sound to the Sony XB40, I mean, there is just there's no competition. The XB40 is a sure shot winner. But like I said, guys, if you have the budget and if superior sound and bass is all that matters to you, XB40 is your choice, hands down. If that is not your budget, but you want something which is very, very rugged, which offers good sound, very good sound, and decent amount of bass, the boAt Stone 700 is your go-to Bluetooth speaker. So that's my opinion, guys. Now it's up to you. Links to both of these are in the description below. Prices do fluctuate. This I got for $24.99. This I got for $11,970. The links are in the description below. You can check it out for the latest prices. Don't pay too much for this, guys. Don't pay it over $12,500 for this. Wait for it to be in the vicinity of $12,100 or below $12,000 if you can. And don't pay more than $2,500 for this speaker. But definitely pay less for both if you do get that chance. So that's been the comparison, guys. If you've enjoyed it, do give this video a thumbs up. It really gives me the impetus to make more comparisons like this. If you have any questions, do let me know in the comments below. Subscribe to Pure Cast 9 if you haven't already. And as always, I'll catch you guys in the next one. Cheers.